Hello friends and welcome back to the channel. The book of Proverbs is one of my favorite books in the Bible because it's just full of godly wisdom. Now, the author of Proverbs was Israel's King Solomon. And the Bible tells us that Solomon was one of the wisest people or wisest men that ever lived. And we know that from going back in the text or in the scripture and seeing that when Solomon was first made king of Israel, God wanted to grant him whatever he wanted. And he didn't ask for riches or wealth or to be famous. He just wanted God's wisdom. And that's what we need to be seeking. We need to be seeking godly wisdom so we can uh, make wise choices as we navigate this world. So Solomon, when he begins Proverbs in chapter 1, he lets us know right away that he's the author of the book. Verse 1 says, The Proverbs of Solomon, son of David, king of Israel. So I have no doubt that Solomon wrote this book. So he goes on in verses 2 through 6 to tell us the reason why he wrote the book. So listen to these verses. To know wisdom and instruction, to understand words of insight, to receive instructions in wise dealing, in righteousness, justice, and equity, to give prudence to the simple, knowledge and discretion to the youth. Let the wise hear and increase in learning, and the one who understands attain guidance. To understand a proverb and a saying, the words of the wise and their riddles. So we see here a list of reasons why Solomon wanted to share his wisdom. And we see in the book that Solomon is sharing this wisdom with his son. And what better way for us as fathers to share godly wisdom with our children also. So the book of Proverbs is a very, very important book for us to read and understand and study. We'll gain a lot of godly wisdom by doing so. So verse 7 tells us that Solomon lets us know where his wisdom comes from. So there's no doubt in that. The beginning of verse 7 says, The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. So Solomon says that the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. So we know that knowledge or the beginning of knowledge comes from the Lord. But why did Solomon say the fear of the Lord? Is he saying we should be afraid of God and fear God with trembling and be scared of God? Not at all. Not at all. What Solomon is saying here when he says the fear of the Lord is meaning that we should have reverence to God, reverence and awe to God, because we recognize and know that God's the only source of wisdom there is. Uh, God is the true source of wisdom. God is the source of wisdom that is above all things. We know God created everything. He even created us. And it took wisdom to do that. And there's no wisdom above godly wisdom. So he wants us, when he says the fear of the Lord, to reverence God as the true and only source of wisdom. So then Solomon goes on to let us know that not everybody's going to be interested in seeking godly wisdom. Uh, so he says, fools despise wisdom and instruction. So Solomon calls these people that reject godly wisdom fools. So, it takes a pretty foolish person, in my eyes, to reject God's wisdom. He's wrote it in the book. The Bible is full of godly wisdom. And we should seek out wisdom as we navigate this life so we can make wise choices. We can, seek God in anything that we do. So Solomon calls people who despise wisdom and God's instruction, he calls them fools. So I want to encourage you today to seek the wisdom of God in everything you do. Don't be a foolish person and ignore godly wisdom. The best thing that we can do and the best thing for us as we navigate this life is to seek God's wisdom. The Bible tells us when we seek God, we'll find Him. So I want to encourage you to do just that. I'd like for you to read Proverbs, read the whole book. There's 31 chapters, and one way that I like to read Proverbs is take a chapter a day, like the first day of the month, read the first chapter, and so forth until you've read the whole book for that month. Now, I guarantee you, if you do that, you're going to find some wisdom in every day as you read through those chapters. You're going to find some wisdom that can benefit you that day. So it's important that we recognize that God is the source of all wisdom and we seek that wisdom. God bless you.